Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Game Loading, the show where I play through some games, and sometimes we settle our differences with a card game. For this episode, we'll be playing Ascension Online Closed Beta. It is a deck-building card game by Stoneblade Entertainment. They have also made the card game Soulforge, which I have also done a review of. You can click over the Soulforge icon for the annotation. And this game was successfully backed on Kickstarter. They have sent out the closed beta to the backers. Right now there is only local play. There is no online feature, which will probably be added in future betas. You can have up to 4 games going, which would be really helpful when they add the online feature, because then you can play multiple games against people, or if you have to go, you can suspend a game and come back to it when you have time. Right now, you can pretty much finish a game in one sitting, because you're just playing against computer AIs. Let's create a new game. We're going to change player 1 to Loki Trickster. Right now, the computer AI is only set to easy. Although it is easy, that doesn't mean that it is completely easy to beat. It is slightly competent in its card play. So you won't be getting any easy victories here. And they only have the Year 1 card packs available. Year 1 is Chronicle of the Godslayer, and its first expansion is Return of the Fallen. They have years 2 and 3 coming. I currently actually have the Year 3 Rise of Vigil and the Year 1 Return of the Fallen in the physical card game. Right now the honor level is 120, and that is set by the number of players. And if you see I take out one player, it drops down by increments of 30. Honor is how the game is scored. You get them through the game. I will explain that more as we get in. Each player will start with 10 cards. You have 8 apprentices and 2 militia. The apprentices give you +1 rune. The militia give you power, which are used to defeat monsters. The star is the honor. Runes are used to buy heroes like these, and power is used to defeat monsters. Honor is scored when you defeat monsters. They each have their honor number. This one is 8, as well as cards have honor number, and this one's 2. Honors on heroes and constructs are scored at the end of the game, whereas honor from defeating monsters is done upon defeat. We'll play all. The deck seems to be fairly rune heavy, so we will go with the Mystic, and we'll also take the Sodarnus. Mystics give +2 runes. Heavy Infantry gives +2 power, and you can defeat the Cultist for 2 power at any time, or 1 honor. This is considered the center row, which is where all the cards come from. Then you have the deck, and then the other side is Void, which is where all the cards go to when they're defeated. And I will end my turn. The good thing about deck building games like this, instead of building a deck which has powerful cards that are pretty much defeat anything else that another player could have, everyone basically starts off with the same 10 cards, and you make your deck from there. from the center row and the deck. Let's play all. We'll take this and a heavy, and we'll end turn. Let's play all of these. I have 3 and 3, so let's see, this gains +2 power for Core of the Ferromancer. Or I can defeat the Tormented Soul to gain 1 and draw a card. Let's defeat that and get a new card. Let's play the Mystic. That now takes me to 5, so I can Void Thirster. I get 1 power per turn. And when I defeat a monster for the first time in a row, I gain 1 honor. I will take that. And end turn. And another thing I hope they do when they add the other cards is I want to see how they do the cards from like Rise of Vigil, which adds a brand new mechanic with treasures and energizing cards, which is not something we'll be able to see until they release that until they release those cards. But they are really awesome mechanics that you can play with the physical card game. So let us play all. And this card gives me draw a card, plus I get 1. I pay 1 room less to acquire a construct. There aren't any constructs, but I can get the Great Omen Raven. And I will also get a heavy. And end turn. As you defeat cards or acquire cards, as you acquire cards from the game, they go from the center row into your discard pile and then are returned to your hand. And this is a construct card that he has. Once per turn, he may banish a card in his hand to gain 1 power. Let's see, this gives me a gain 1 power, and the next time I defeat a monster, that gives me 2, 3, 4. So I'll take you, and I will banish the other one of you, and I will take a heavy. See, one thing I like about playing this card game on here versus the physical game is cards like the Great Omen Raven, where you get to name a card, reveal the top card of your deck, and put it in your hand, and if it is the name card, you gain 3 honor. Instead of just trying to remember what cards are in your deck that you've acquired, it will actually show you a list of all the cards in your deck, and you just click on the one you think it'll be. And we'll play this, and we'll play all. And as you can see, it shows how many of each I have. I'll try this, but it was not that. So I have 5 and 1. We'll take Arha Sensei and Heavy Infantry. One of the other things that you can do with the card game that isn't implemented yet, and this is if you don't like a specific card, the developers have said that you don't actually have to play with it. So if you think the card is overpowered or you just don't like what it does, you can actually just take it out of the deck, and then you don't ever have to worry about that card coming up again. And I'm hoping when the game is closer to release and maybe further betas, we'll actually get that feature. So I have 2 and 3, and then plus the 1 would give me 4. So I'll play all. So let's see. I can get 5, or I can banish a card in the center row. I get 2 and 2 runes, and that'd give me 5. So we'll take that. And I'll get 1, 2 of these. And just because you may have a really high honor number here, but also your cards have honor number, so you will actually score that, so you don't actually know 100% who is in the lead. Like this one gives you 1, and this one also gives you 1. This will give me 3. Yeah, and something you want to plan, because if you're taking a lot of low number cards and you're not getting a lot of base honor, you will still lose. Versus someone who may have a low base honor and a lot more higher point cards. So let's try heavy. And it was an apprentice this time. 2 and 3. 4. Kill him, I'll get 4. We'll kill Samaros, Trickster. Now I have 3. And we'll take that. And the Temple Library. And every card has a specific number of cards it can have in a deck. This one looks like it can be 4. This one is 3. This one says 1. In my personal deck, I keep maybe about 2 or 3 of each, and that's just because I don't like having too many of the same cards to come up. Someone defeated Fire Tyrant, so I have to discard a card. So let's see, we'll get rid of... That'll give me 4, so let's get rid of the Apprentice. And play all. So I'm 4 and 4. So if I get this, I can banish a card. I gain 4, banish a card. I can get this guy, get 3. Each must destroy a construct. The 2 players will actually lose constructs. This, and gain 1, and still 2 from him. Let's do that. That took 2 of his honor. And we'll take you, and we'll take another heavy, because we're getting a lot of monster cards out on the field now. Once all the honor here has been eliminated, that will signal that it is the last turn, so it'll go until everyone's gotten at least their last turn. So whoever went first, if they go out, then everyone around them gets 1 more turn. I don't want to banish anything. When this enters the center row, each player may banish a card in their hand or discard. And Fate is triggered when the card comes out onto the field. I get Sea Tyrant, which gives me 5, and each chooses a construct they control and destroys the rest. I can do Wind Tyrant and gain 3 and 3, which is probably what I'll do. That'll give me 6. Yeah, let's do that. We will take Wolf Shaman, which will give me 1 and draw a card. Let's take that. And Ascara Fate has come in, so I get to draw a card. So let's add an Apprentice. So now I have 4, and we'll buy the Ascara Fate. And Ravenous Gorf, when he came in, his fate is he banishes all adjacent cards. So that was the card that was here was banished and replaced by this one. And let's end. As you can see, I have 20 honor, and the next closest is 13. And he just got back up in point. Turn. And at the beginning of each turn, you see the Scarface pop up, meaning that every player gets to draw a card, which is a little different than if you were actually just playing the game, because then you would just, everyone would just immediately take a card at that time. It's 2, 4, 6, 7. If I discard a card, I can draw 2, so we'll discard him. And that gives me 2 more. And that did exactly what I needed. So we'll take Samaya the Fallen. And he's unbanishable. I gain 8 honor. And he's an ongoing trophy. So when I defeat a monster in the center row or the void, I may acquire it. And monsters go into your deck are considered heroes. When you play a monster, gain power equal to its cost. I want to acquire that guy. And I have 2, so we'll take both of these. And that ends my turn. And trophy cards also stay down here along with your constructs. And if you notice, there's an extra icon that appears right here. It's from his construct, which allows him to make constructs, which have special terms on the card. I will keep this one, which is means I don't actually destroy a card. So let's play Wolf Shaman to draw a card. And let's play all. So I'm 6 and 2. So I'll kill a cultist. Let's see. The Shade of Black Watch, which is in gain 2 power and banish a card. And if you're wondering why you might want to banish your hand, you can get rid of lower cards like Apprentices and Militia to lower the chance of them coming up so you get more powerful cards. And there are also some cards that actually have conditions where if they're banished, you get honor for that. So, Spike Vixen gives me 1 and draw a card. Eternal Ascara, which is banish card in center row. If it's a monster, I gain 3 honor. And then another Shade of the Black Watch. We will take Eternal Ascara and end that turn. So I currently have 30 cards, 16 in my discard, 5 in my hand, and 9 in my deck. And then each player has, he has 13, which 5 in his hand. He has 19, 2 in his deck, 5 in his hand, and he has 17. Oh, what is this? His Tablet of Tarn's Dawn. You may banish this construct to take an additional turn. And as you can see, this came back. It goes with this, the Grand Design. Once per turn, you gain 2 runes. You may spend it only to acquire mech constructs. Let's see. To draw a card. Banish a card in your hand if you do acquire Mystic or Heavy Infantry without paying its cost, and put it into your hand. So let's do that. We're going to discard him. Let's see. Wait, I need heavy. Let's get a heavy for power. That gives me another card. So let's play all. So it's 1 and 6. Gain 4, I may banish a card in the center row and or a card in my discard pile. Defeat that card. We will banish Ravenous Gorsh. Not banish any... Yeah, let's banish an Apprentice. And let's defeat the Cultist. And end. I'm really hoping once they open up years 2 and 3, we get to mix and match the decks and expansions to bring out a little bit more. So let's play this, and we'll banish this, and we will play Great Omen Raven. We guess Apprentice. It was a heavy. That gives me 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll play that 6. So 3 and 6. This one says we get once per turn when I put this mech construct into play, draw a card. Or I can get Shadow Star, which once per turn I gain 1 power. So we'll take that. And I will start with 2 power because I have Void Thirster gives me +1. So I have 6. We'll take Corrosive Widow, which I gain 3, and each opponent must destroy a construct. And then I'll also take the Cultist since I saw 2. And end. What did he play? He played Muramasa. Once per turn, gain 3 taps. That's really nice. He also has the Shadow Star. Stone Circle Fate. When this enters the center row, each player may acquire a Mystic without paying its cost. Put it on top of their deck. So let's take a Mystic and we put it on top. And we'll play all. So I'm at 3 and 4. What we'll do is we'll take Corrosive Widow and we'll put it in my because I have Semi-L, it'll go in my discard pile. And then we'll take Lunar Stag, which you choose between gaining 2 runes or 2 honor. So let's acquire and end my turn. That card's really good because if you're low on honor, you can gain honor, or you can just pad your honor score by just dumping honor into it. Or if you really need runes, you can add the runes to buy new things. I honestly think it'll be between myself and player 3. Let's draw a card from this. Let's play Aha Initiate to draw a card. Let's play Wolf Shaman to draw a card. Set a card, I can draw a card. I can draw 2. That's 2. So, we'll do this. We'll take a card, and we'll discard this guy. I get to draw 2. Katara, I get to banish a card in the center row, and if I do with the monster, I gain 3. So, 2, 4, 5, 6. Kill this guy. Tyrant. Give me 5 for runner and draw 2 cards. Or I could take the Sea Tyrant and give me 5, and each opponent must destroy a construct. I'll probably take Earth Tyrant. I do finish Sorted Ass. Yeah, then 1 point and still 2 from the opponent. That will banish you. Yeah, and that. I'll play all. That's the Earth Tyrant. And put in my discard. And start into do another mythic or heavy. 5. Anything on the field right now? 7. Let's see, I have 2 of everything. Sleep or the dark says retreat, which you don't acquire up to this turn. 2 cards at the end of your next turn. Not really a fan of that card because it basically means you sacrifice a turn to get 2 new cards. Or I can get the heavy and defeat the cultist. What did I do? I thought this one. Finish. Take the 3. 2. So do that and kill the cultist. Then we will buy the Ascara Fate and end my turn. And there we go. 106 total honor, and 40 to 80 total honor. Here's the card honor, which is 48. He had 54, but he's lower base honor. He had 33. That is my first look at the Ascension closed beta again. And once they add the other years and multiplayer, I will make another video showing off those. And we'll see you on another episode of Game Loading.